Hi, Sonia here, and I've been doing a series of sketchbook tours recently. I was going to do a different one today, a drawing a day challenge old sketchbook from 2015, but yesterday I was looking through some drawers and I found this one which I'd kind of forgotten about, and I wanted to share it because I thought maybe it's an idea for any of you out there who like reusing sketchbooks or altered book projects. So this sketchbook dates from, I believe, sort of 2018, 2019. It's a print fresh one that I was gifted at the time through sharing some work on Instagram and doing a 100-day project. And I initially filled it up with loose florals, but then I think about last year I started looking through it and I just didn't feel, there's I don't know, about not even a quarter. There's some pages in here that I really like and I want to keep, but the majority of the pages I didn't like. So I felt like maybe this is a good one to reuse, to repurpose, and to paint over with leftover acrylics and gouache, and then transform it, as it were. So let's go through, and I'm going to also show a few of my materials that I use, and to give you some ideas. This first section I have stuck on, and it's going to come off, let's not fiddle with it, a collage, a leftover piece of, I've used these bits of my old paintings to form a collage on old watercolour paper. This was I always find the first pages tricky in a sketchbook. I start off really tentatively, and there's no difference here. There's some more, I drew a self-portrait and there's some mark making. Here already, this first spread I've painted over because underneath is sort of a doodly page that it was a bit, to my mind, when I reviewed it earlier this year, boring. So I've painted over it with some gouache. I think it was the Himi jelly gouache that I was trying to use up. And then I've drawn on top with Caran d'Ache Neo Colour crayons. These are great for drawing over acrylic paint and gouache paint because I don't find them as rubby as oil pastels, and you get more, you still get like this beautiful bright colours. I've just done this one this morning, completed this one this morning, because I did previously make a video and it didn't upload properly, so I'm redoing it. But this is, I'm starting to work on this. I put all these post-it notes in the pages to mark the ones I need to come back to that are ready for me to draw again over. So here I have used, I had fun with using over a bit of old acrylic left over from a painting that I was finishing off this morning. So I used that up here and there. And then I've used a bit of collage. So I have this, I wanted to share this because it's always fun looking through people's collage papers. I have this box of bits and bobs that I'm keeping, like old bits of paintings, tissue paper. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I've jogged the thing, the stand. And it is, I'm using it to, using old bits to collage into my sketchbooks and onto other work. Some of them are old paintings, but I just try and keep bits and bobs. So that's that box there. And then, so this is little bits of collage that I've cut out into bowl shapes and a bit of tissue paper. Here I've got some irises actually in front of me that I've drawn with the Neo Colour crayons. Here's a page from the original, when I originally filled it up. And I was sort of doing loose florals and sort of just sketching vases of flowers. But I like that spread, so I'm keeping it. A repainted sketchbook spread using gouache again. And I've made up this composition. I've sometimes for fun, it's a bit like window shopping. I go online, look at, I saw these pottery heads with flowers coming out. And then I just sketch them in my own way in my sketchbook. Here I've marked this page because I started, you can see I've painted over it sometimes the felt tips I'm using or the markers bleed through. At the same time, I've already started drawing loosely over it, but I'm going to go and put block colour in here and redo that page. This page needs redoing. I obviously started sketching some figures. I don't know where I was going with this, and I feel like I can work on this one again. This is one of the reasons, I mean, I've got some sketchbooks that I've totally torn out the paper and recycled, but I really like this spread. This is one of the original loose pages, mixed media, that I really, there's something about it. The colours, I want to keep it. And this one too, I liked how the colours here turned out. Here you can see there's a very scrappy drawing underneath, and I've used the technique again of some, I think it's like tracing paper, and then I tried to paint on top with acrylic gouache. I really like this page here because I like the colours. I really like how the pink has turned out against this sort of light grey colour. And yeah, it's a repainted, under here is a portrait, and I did a quick sketch from a still life photo from Switzerland, but changed up the colours. Some sketches of my kids. Those ones I always tend to keep, even if they are a little bit scrappy. This is a funny page. It's repainted, and you can see, so I've repainted and done loose sort of vases on it. I don't love it, but I'm not going to repaint that. I'm keeping that. Here I need to come back to. So yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to share this, and it's like a weird sketchbook tour because it's not finished, is maybe when I have finished it, I will come back and share it again. And it's also for anybody, yeah, maybe something you want to have a think about trying out. I'm not sure I like this page. I should mark this one to redo. This spread I do love. It's one of I remember using dip pens to draw flowers with, and I like the red, and let me just lift it up to show you. But I think this paper, it's like it's sort of splodged, you can see splodges of ink, and yeah, so that's one of the reasons I want to keep this sketchbook as well, because I like some of these spreads. Fennel, I see a lot of fennel on a local run, so I'm always taking pictures of it. Here is the original loose sketch, and then I added in, I had some leftover blue acrylic, and I thought this will make like a tabletop scene, and then I'm going to add on some still life elements. Spread, an original spread. This one you can definitely see that I have painted over with gouache, or no, it looks like acrylic actually. And then I've drawn on the top with Neo colour, and you just got a loose still life arrangement. This was like, I think, gesso, and the under drawing really has come through. I kind of like that element, and it'll be interesting to see what I'm going to do with that. So yeah, the other reason I've wanted to share this is because for anybody who doesn't like the blank page, or sometimes finds, I don't know, a totally white sketchbook overwhelming, using it in this way really frees you up, because already there's some marks there. There's already a starting point to a piece. I love this colour, this sort of really bright sort of peps, this like a bright pink, and yeah, I'm going to have fun playing around with this spread. I'm just going to quickly show, no, let me talk about this one first. This is, you can see elements, it's coming through, it's the texture of collage. So there was collage on this page, then I've repainted over it with just creamy acrylic paint, and then I have used I've got a Rodin book, and I was just copying some of the sculptures from it in my way. Okay, here, this is a good time to show. Here's my little box of odds and ends. These are like Pentel cheap oil pastels. I think that's the Neo colour. I keep all my odds and ends, and I find that it's great for these sorts of sketchbooks because it loosens up, using tiny bits of crayon and stubs loosens up your mark making and makes you draw, you have to be a bit bolder. Also, I do love these sort of neon oil pastels. I don't think they're terribly expensive. And I've got even some crayons, wax crayons. Sometimes even wax crayons work on top of this pre-prepared paper as well. So that's two of my favourite drawing supplies. I do also, these are the paints I tend to, just got them out to show you. I've been using, like I like to use acrylic, leftover acrylic, acryl gouache works quite well, and even your, I mean, I wouldn't pre-prepare a page with, because this is quite pricey, but gouache also works well. But you can also use it to paint on top of other gouache. Here, I need to come back to this page. I started it and I've got this like sort of 1970s still life element here, but I need to finish this off. Oh, so yeah, this is more Himi, I think it's Himi gouache. I really love what's happened here. So obviously it's torn, and but it reminds me of those old posters. I like sometimes when the page gets damaged or you get smudging, it just feels less precious and more sort of rough and ready. And I think this is oil pastel. Sometimes the oil pastel doesn't stay true to the colour. You have to like test it out. This was an original painting, but I've kept it, but I don't love it. I've kept these because these are quite fun, these little tiny sketches I did at the time from a few years ago. This is prepared, ready to go, and it's really cheap, I think, acrylic, and I just really love this sort of, it's got a really smooth effect and it's inviting, and it's going to be, yeah, I'll probably draw over that maybe with the Neo colour pastels. Black page. Yeah, this one needs to be, I don't like this, so I might repaint over it. Just wanted to show you, yeah, even when you draw on top, you may not like your drawing on top, and then you go again. So you're like building up layers. Oh, this is quite a fun exercise for anyone who wants a quick warm-up sketch. Choose something really simple to draw, like a vase or pottery, and yeah, this is Neo colour I think I've used because I love the brightness of the blue on the red, and I decided I was just going to stop there because it worked. I love this colour page. I'm looking forward to going back to this one. This drawing is an original one in the sketchbook, and I've kept it because it's okay. Here is, this is my youngest, one of his paintings, which I really love. I love how, you know, inspiring the kids are when they're young and they just blob to paint it. You know, it's kind of sort of abstract. Here I was obviously experimenting with thumbnails for composition. I'm going to come back, and then I thought what I might do is when I fill up, I want to reuse all these post-it notes. Maybe I might stick them and make like a yellow background for another piece. Okay, this is Himi gouache, I think. And then I have used, for Christmas, Father Christmas brought the boys some metallic markers, which they don't seem to be that bothered about using. So I have been using, so you can see they've got this like really lovely metallic effect. I think Father Christmas got them off Amazon. I think they're Oahu or something. But I played around with those, just doing floral design. I sketched from a real life floral arrangement, and I loved, because I like to make the most of my floral. If I've got flowers, I've sketched it again and again, and just same happened with this vase of flowers, just switching up how I represented it. This is old, just getting rid of old acrylic, and it's made a really, I'm not sure what this will transform into. This one needs to be, I left that a bit too blank for me. Yeah, here I just wanted to say, so oil pastel does have a bit of a different effect, but I quite like it, than the Neo colours. It just sometimes reacts a bit differently. Oh, a page I wanted to share because it's sort of showing the layers, original sketch, and you've got the paint on top, and then Oh, I'm going to leave this though because I just like how it's all the spread. But here I've used oil pastels in a very different way from how I've been using them earlier in this sketchbook. I've kind of tried to blend them and make this more of a more detailed sketch of some flowers. I kind of like these, but I don't know. I don't like leaving things blank. Oh, this is one of my favourite colours. This sort of, I don't know, this bluey grey. I think it just works really well as a background for bright colours on top. I really like this red. Yeah, these sort of spreads are just super fun to do, and they bring me a lot of like just joy. They're quick. They only take like 5 minutes, but there's something something that I enjoy about them. I don't like this. I'm going to paint over it. That's why so we'll see where this goes. If you love your sketchbooks and you have no intention of repainting over old ones, then the other idea is like altered books. I do want to do a sketchbook tour of I've got an abstract from an old library set, a second-hand book that I've turned into an abstract sketchbook through just painting over and collaging over pages. So you can do that. Oh, this is kind of a lurid green, but yeah, I'm really pleased. This is what has continued to inspire me to loosen up, because I've repainted, you can see there's some old scrappy flower drawings underneath, and then this is, I think, soft-bodied acrylic, and I don't know why, it's like I don't think, if I'd had really good quality watercolour paper and used my best paints, I'm not sure I would have been brave enough to really go so sketchy or do this composition. But so I've learned, it's continued to encourage me to try different techniques out to minimise my compositions or ways of drawing. This is an original drawing in pencil, but I kind of like that one, so I'm keeping it. The kids ones I always tend to keep because it's I don't know, I just like to keep those ones. Here is, talking about minimalism. Painted over, I don't know what's underneath this, and I deliberately have kept it to the super barest of drawings. I was thinking about, there's another one that's coming up, like those sort of naive, I really love now, I don't think I appreciated it when I was younger, but naive artists, I'm thinking here like Rose Wiley, Danny Fox. I don't really, I'm trying to be much more, not afraid of bad drawing, or, well, it's not even bad drawing, is it, because it's really good, but like what sometimes we may have been judged on when we were younger as, oh, that's really, you could put more effort to that, that's really, I think it's sort of getting away from that kind of thinking. Dip pen drawings of the flowers, which I've kept because I really like these. This I've repainted, ready to go, but I'm going to get rid of this. I don't like that, so I'm going to get rid of that. Trees, I'm keeping this one. It's not my best drawing of trees, but there's something about the I obviously did it super quick, and it's a reminder to myself to sketch quickly. It's got spontaneity. Okay, I've obviously tried to do something with this page and I don't like it, so I'm going to come back and redo that page. Oh, here you can just see a little bit of the drawings underneath, but I will transform that. This is quite a fun one. I've really made this up totally and just played around with neons and sort of like Pepsil, that sort of pink, neo crayons. Sort of more accurate drawing of calla lilies that I'm going to keep. Again, I like this coloured background, and here I have tried just to be very linear and almost like, like I'm colouring in. I want that kind of more rustic colouring in of shapes, so everything's a little bit more basic. I'm going to come back to that one. Here, trying to go more linear, like lines, keeping it, well, I've kind of filled that in, but linear drawing of these flowers, and Neo colour crayons, because it's not, I think those are Neo crayons. I know people have, yeah, as I mentioned, like you can spray it with fixative or hairspray, but I don't tend to worry too much. Very precious ones, I might also put some scrap paper in between. This page, I spent quite a long time on these tulips, yet I don't know. I'm definitely gonna fill this side, but I just don't, it's funny how, yeah, even stuff you can spend a lot of time on, I feel quite sort of cool towards it. Whereas sometimes it's these quick ones that I feel more, I don't know, I like at the moment, but tastes change, don't they? There's a nice neon pear. Pink. Yep, these are ready to go. And again, this is an example of my more like trying to be more naive, to just really go back to basics. Like how would I, you know, I used to love, like I love my kids when they're very young, their drawings, like how we are, isn't it? Yeah, everyone's sometimes trying to get back to that, aren't they? But it's actually quite hard, because it's, I don't know, it depends how I feel. Here, this is a good example of why sometimes, I brought this cheap acrylic, and it's got this weird like, what's the word? It's got a weird, it gives a weird surface. It's like, but, and this almost looks like I've used house paint or something, but yeah, it's worked out. I like it. It's strange. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, this should go this way around this spread. I like the effect where I was going with that, so I'm keeping that spread, even though it's, yeah, I'm keeping these ones. These are the original ones that I had in this sketchbook. You can see though, a lot of it I have covered up. I don't like, there's a lot of it I just was like, oh, this isn't, but I prefer, I feel like it still meshes in with the original drawings in some respects. I love this spread. I think it's because, yeah, I like how I love where I'm going with this sort of kind of graphic line drawing. At the same time, you can just see these things that images, like there was obviously a vase here before that's been hidden. Yeah, I just love layers as well in drawings and paintings. And these ones I'm keeping. That's probably my favourite of that series of 3. So you can see sometimes drawing the same thing over and over again is quite fun. I mean, it's nothing new. We think of Monet and the lilies. Oh, this, I like that. Oh, I love that sort of ochre against the plum aubergine. It's also a way of testing out colours, because you've got this very bold or a background colour. It's weird. It's nice to see how different colours look against it. And it's a chance to put even the colours that you think will look icky against the backgrounds and play, because, yeah, I mean, it's just repainted paper with, and hopefully it's you're using up paint that maybe you would have had to sort of get rid of anyway. And here we are, that's the end. So yeah, this is just, oh, that's my kids' drawings. This is just an idea. I wanted to share it because I wondered if it's something you might also want to try out, be it repainting pages or altering a previous sketchbook. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.